Yep, so I thought I'd do a bit of a review of the Moonshine Outlaw. It's a directional single kick from Moonshine. I've been riding this board for a couple of months, and honestly the main reason I thought I would do a review is because I really thought this was like a, one of the top tier sort of downhill boards in the scene, and it's not really doing it for me, and I couldn't really find any other reviews, and I thought I'd just share my honest thoughts, put it out there so that people know, because I was a little bit let down, not gonna lie. I mean, it's a sick board, but we'll get into it. But I think I'll just start with why I don't like it, and it's that it's actually kind of flexy. I'll have to add in a little clip of me standing on it or something, but it's not as flexy as a mini Byron, but it definitely flexes, and when you're skating, like if you get a little bit of speed and try and do a stand-up slide, you can really feel like that. I don't know how to explain it, but that feeling of when the board flexes underneath you when you're trying to push it up to slide. And I'm not a big fan of that. I know you can push past it, obviously, like you can skate anything, whatever, but for me, downhill board should be kind of stiff. It's also really flat. So if we try and line up the cave here, there's not much concave at all. Like, it's almost completely flat and just kind of lips up on the sides. And it's quite wide, so I would say, like, you can have a wider board or you can have a flatter board, but not both at the same time. Again, this is, it's mostly preference, but for me, this is what I found when I bought the board expecting, like a downhill board. I was wanting the sidekick, but they didn't release it this year, so that's why I bought the Outlaw. Yeah, it's reasonably long. I wouldn't really say that it's a negative thing. It's reasonably long. It's got wheelbase options of 23.5 to 25 3/4. It's 38.25 long, so it's not crazy long. Directional single kick, and 9.75 wide. So it's not even like crazy wide for a freeride board. It's just, seems like kind of standard specs. It's just, for me, it's pretty flat and it's kind of flexy. So I've been riding it for a few months now on my sim setup, and it just, for me, it doesn't quite feel right underfoot. I've come from a rain dark side, which is like stiff, steep concave. So to go from that to this has been kind of crazy. Yeah, but again, I think the flex is kind of my biggest critique of it. It's a sick board. I love the graphic. Like, graphic is sick. The construction's really cool. How they've got these urethane rails, so it's waterproof. I don't really rain skate, but the option's there and you don't have to worry about ruining your gear. That's kind of cool. They've got these like grab rail things, and I wasn't too sure about that. I kind of thought maybe it was a bit of a gimmick. But they're actually really handy. You can actually just pick the board up with them, which is pretty sick. There's little things like that that adds to the construction is kind of cool. Early grabs and stuff feel real nice on them. I guess some of the positive things about this board is like it actually has really good clearance, even with these sort of flush cuts. And the flush cuts aren't because it drops; it's just got a bit of rocker. But these flush cuts are in there. I've been running my sim set of Voxes on this, and I haven't had any wheel bite. I've been riding, full-size freeride wheels, skating anything, and haven't got wheel bite once. So that's definitely a bonus. I don't know about like if you were to put downhill trucks on, like slalom trucks. I don't know why you would, but they might bite. If you're riding slalom trucks, you don't want this board anyway, so that doesn't really matter. This board actually has really, really great pop. I'm in no way a street skater. I can only just kind of ollie, and honestly, my ollies have kind of really progressed on this setup, like more than my double kick. The kick is just really nice, so it's got sick pop. It feels really great for ollies and that kind of stuff. Yeah, so I would say, like, obviously this board is going to be more lined up for someone that does like a bit more freestyle, mellower freeride. If you're into kick tricks, doing manuals, doing like maybe even a little bit of dancing and stuff with the flatter, wider deck, like this is going to be a good board for you with that longer wheelbase. And like if you're just starting to get into skating, you know, those guys that have the real grom froth and get out in the rain all the time, like I can see why this is the perfect all-round board. So I'm definitely not dogging on it in any way. It's just for me personally, freeride and like faster freeride is kind of my thing. And when you're going like a bit quicker, especially into those stand-up slides, and you feel the board sort of move and your feet don't feel as locked in as they would prefer to be, it's not the ideal thing. But yeah, overall, like, it's a sick board. It's just not what I thought it was going to be. And I look at reviews for stuff, and I never found a review saying, hey, this board's actually kind of flexy. So I thought I would just say that.